some Toshiba VHS goodness. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a Toshiba VHS, Toshiba V88, and you'll know from previous videos that I do have a bit of a soft spot for Toshiba, even though sort of middle of the road, but they tended to be, especially the Japanese built units, very solid, well built, not bad performance. I've done quite a lot with the Toshiba V9600, as you'll know if you're regular to the channel. A lot of people don't really like those machines, and I don't know whether I do altogether. I haven't worked on Sony's so much since, but they sort of what started me on fixing video recorders. So yeah, and TVs and whatever else, of everything really, consumer electronics. So these machines, I've never ever worked on one of these, or if I have, I don't remember. But our local TV and video shop where I used to live, they were Toshiba dealers, and hence why I got into the 9600 beta machines. And I remember these types of machines, not necessarily the V88, so there were several that all looked sort of relatively similar, that probably predate this. I don't know what date this is, we'll no doubt find out as we go along. So you've got pull down flap with sharpness and tracking controls, you've got timer controls, and then tape transport controls. This isn't the right remote. This is a VC73, and I think it should be a VC88, and I think it has an extra function on it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put that up. But yeah, this was actually, I bought this off eBay, and apparently it's fully cleaned and tested as working, and it's certainly not clean. So we'll see how well that works, if at all. I'm pretty sure it will work with this machine. It just, like I said, we're missing a function. So yeah, I have a jolly good feeling that it will need belts, and being a Toshiba, the belts that are in there are going to be all totally to gunge. So let's take the top off and have a look. So the condition of the machine is actually pretty good. It does need a jolly good clean. And it looks like the top is really terrible, but as seemed to be very common. I remember this back in the day, seeing these sort of in the shop. They come in for repair, they'd still have the protective plastic covering on them, so that hopefully will be a really nice looking top. I mean, it has had quite a few scratches on it, but I'm hoping that's all been protected. Fortunately, the flap has suffered. It's a bit scratched up, but yeah, I might be able to do something with that just to bring that back. And you can see even there where the plastic sort of is protecting the metal there. So yeah, fingers crossed. So let's get this top off. Okay, so first look, yes indeed, the belt has well and truly disintegrated. Looks like it's gone mouldy as well. Yeah, so that's going to have to, I don't know how much of that we can actually get off. Oh, yeah, I might be putting some gloves on for that. And a bit of it's fallen down in between as well, so that'll come out. And rest of it doesn't look too bad. Pinch roll looks a little bit the worse for wear. It's very, very grubby. I can show you the caps down. Yeah, so that's really, really very grubby. So I'm sort of intrigued to see how good this machine actually is. Rest of it looks pretty clean and tidy. Power supply is pretty dusty. We haven't got a reefer. that's good. So I shall clean up that icky belt, and I suppose we'll take the bottom off then and have a look there. So I'll do that. I won't bother showing it. Oh, just looking at the idler as well. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. It's sort of, you can see it's got a bit white, and there's a bit of black on the top of the spools as well. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but yeah, anyway, I'll clean up that belt and take it from there. Let's crack on. Okay, so I've given it a pretty good clean. There's still a little bit of black in there, and right in the sort of centre dip, if you like, in the gear and the pulley. But that one's cleaned up actually rather well. There's a couple of little bits there. Probably will just clean up. Yeah, need to clean up the teeth as well, which is fine. And I did clean the regulatory wheel roller, so this helps regulate the tape speed, and it does need a bit of isopropyl on it, but it was filthy dirty. Getting the clip off was fun because this is really thick plastic. I mean, Toshiba did do a pretty good job with these sort of decks, just really building them well. So yeah, and I've started cleaning up the upper drum as well. I haven't actually cleaned the heads yet. I've just literally just cleaned the worst of the muck off the... Yeah, so I'm going to take the front loading system off and just give it a bit of an inspection, check everything moves. And it's much easier to get to the capstan because that's really filthy dirty. So yeah, I'll have a look at that. And I'm going to take it outside in a minute, I think, and just give this a good blowout to get all this dust out of the power supply. Yeah, I think that's going to be my next job. And we'll come back and take the take the front loading system off. So yeah, let's crack on. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, putting this in service mode, so it locks in there and you sort of fold it up, and you lift the board up. And there's actually slots in the plastic to sort of prop it up out of the way. So that's actually really cool. Another thing I didn't mention, there's so much I missed. To remove this, it's just one screw because the other part of this is held by the PCB screw, so it's all captive. There's a little screw there, you just slacken it off and it lifts out. So yeah, nice and easy, and yeah, it's quite cool, that. So blowing out all the dust, but let's have a look underneath. I'm sort of quite intrigued. I can't remember how many belts these had. I think it's just a couple. I don't think it's all motor, so we'll find out. Yeah. And a big dollop of dust as well. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, I've just got the one belt, and Toshiba and capstan belts, you know, you can guarantee it's going to be mush. Just like on the 9600 and the 31 33. So V31, 33. I think, I don't know why, I think the 9600 was actually, the 8600 was actually a little less susceptible. But I could be wrong, probably just not remembering. Right, okay, so yeah. I can pull this out, but there's a plastic washer on the other side of that, so that will drop down, but that's fine. In fact, good opportunity to give it a jolly good clean, to be fair, because it is just so mucky. And I can also just scrape this off, which would be really, really nice to do. Okay, well that's as good as it's getting. It's actually rotted the metal. It's rotted a line into the capstan as well. I think I might have to put a little bit of grease on that. I'm just putting just a tiny bit just around the bottom. And noticed a bit of rubber. That's better. Super. Right, so next thing is to put the belt on, and yeah, then we can take the front loading system off and have a look at that. Let's crack on. So just sort of finishing off cleaning up the deck a bit more, and even though it looks like there's still rubber on the motor shaft there, that it's just stained. It really has sort of rotted the metal, basically the coating and whatever. Mode switch, I was tempted to take it apart, but I think I'd rather test it and to see, you know, and if we need to take it apart, then we will. I've put a little bit of deoxit in and just let it soak in the middle, because there's actually enough of a gap there for it to go in and actually lubricate and clean up the contacts. And then I got looking at this. This is the take-up sensor. It's Hall Effect, and it is, I mean, they were made by Toshiba anyway. The Hall Effects used in Sony, the head drums, and also they used them for some real sensors and also some capstan motors as well. THS 113, 112, and variants. They made them quite a long time, right into the 90s for different things, and you can still get some now, various types coming back onto the market, so that's really cool. But I'm sort of glad I did. I mean, this is glued in, so I was going to lift out the panel because there was a bad joint. That one there, I think it is, or was, but I actually ended up doing it in situ, and yeah, just clean them all up basically on this side. The rest are fine, but the one on the end I've not done, 'cause it's a bit close to the plastic, but it's fine. It was just all of those there that were a little bit suspect, and one of them was really quite bad, so obviously that would have caused issues. So that goes back there. You can see there the ferrous material on the bottom of the reel. That goes on there. Now I'm just wondering, it doesn't look as if there's ever been a screw in there, but I would assume there would be a screw there. Yeah, so that's a bit interesting, why there's a screw missing, but I don't think it would cause an issue, unless it was done when the idler was changed, because I think you have to drop the motor to change the idler. Yeah, you do. So maybe the screws just got lost. I will see if I can find one and try and match it to that one if I can. Yeah, let's crack on. Yeah, so one on the right, that is the one that's come out. That's the closest I could find, and that's going to be way too long because it's going to strike the bottom of the reel tables. So I'm just going to leave it out for now, and no doubt I'll find a screw that will fit there in the course of time. But yeah, let's crack on. So time to fit the first belt, and this is from Starcomponents in Australia, and you see all the models that fits. It doesn't actually say V88, but it is the same deck. And you get the idler tyre. Looks like you get a choice of two, and the loading belt, and then the capstan belt. So yeah, let's put the capstan belt on first. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Very slight differences in the idler tyre. I think, are they identical? I think they're absolutely identical. So that's interesting. And then we've got the lacing belt. And the belts, one seems ever so slightly shorter than the other. So yeah, that's a slightly shorter one. It's only by about a couple of mil. But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I'll get that fitted. Belt's on. It's running a little bit uneven, I'm noticing. But that should be fine. I'm hoping with use it'll just settle down. As it stands, that's probably going to be a little bit sort of wow and fluttery, for want of a better way to put it. Yeah, it'll probably be fine, but yeah, interesting. So yeah, remember which way round this goes. Like that, I think. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, put the screws in, and we can take the top front. I will call it top loading system. Take the front loading system off and change that idler tyre and just check it all out on top, and we can finally turn it on and try it. So yeah, I did actually manage to clean out the last of the black, and how I did that is I actually soaked some paper in isopropyl. I just ran it through the pulleys, and yeah, it's cleaned them up really nicely. So I'll get the belt on, and we'll crack on. Fantastic. So front cover off next. Okay, so yeah, it needs a jolly good clean. The screws are incredibly long. So much so I dropped that one because I just couldn't believe how long it was. Amazing. So, right, there's a connector down there, except there isn't a connector down there. So probably what I'm going to do is just lift this out of the way. So it looks like we have, I think it's just two screws. I think it unlatches. So screw there and a screw there. So let's get those out. And then I think I'll just push this back, maybe. It sort of feels like it's still captive. I'll push it forward. And then we should just be able to move that out of the way. So yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, there's no no connector. It's actually soldered on, so you'd have to take the loom apart and chop off these cable ties, which is not ideal, that's for sure. Okay, so yeah, it's fairly dusty, and there's a spot of rust there which I've just taken off, but it's not bad at all. I do think this machine is fairly high hours. It's a bit muck on that head as well, which I'll have to take off, but I can see just a bit of wear at the end of the tape path, so yeah, so just pull that washer off there, and I should be able to lift this off. And then hopefully get the tyre off. That was hard work. I mean, it has had a new idler at some point, as we saw underneath, because the screw's missing. But yeah, the metal part on the spindle, actually, which you can't see, actually looks pretty okay, but I will clean it. Just to get the little bit of rubber residue on there. So... and to be fair, it's more dust. It's not a very dusty machine, but it does have lots of fluff. I could do with finding my aero cleaner. I've mislaid it somewhere. Tyres. That tyre actually looks a little bit smaller. Yeah, it is. Thickness wise, it's right, but the physical size is actually a bit smaller. So that should be okay. This might make it a bit more difficult to get on. I probably could do with some grease. I probably could do with some grease in a few places, although the grease that's on there seems really good, to be fair. Oh, still a hair there now. Like I say, it could do with a good blowout. Well, I got so frustrated with it, I ended up taking the motor out. So I should now be able to remove the idler somehow. Do I have to take a spool off as well? Because I can't take this plastic assembly off because it's moulded. Maybe I do. Maybe I do have to take a spool off. I should now be able to swing this round and get it out, which I can. So, what's happened? Because this tyre is tighter. Well, basically, I didn't manage to get it in to the slot, but because it's so much tighter, you can't get it back out. I mean, the original one was quite difficult to get out, although the rubber really perished on that. But this one, my goodness. And I'm still going to struggle now. Oh, has that just gone? Oh, it's just gone in. Just need a little flick from the bottom just to unlatch it, and that's done it. So what I'll do while it's all apart, I'll give it a clean. Okay, so there's the idler back. Noticing it's got some contamination there. Let's take this back out. Yeah, like I say, the clutch itself seems very good on the idler. That's definitely been changed at some point. Then the motor. So yeah, the motor goes back in that way. And you can see with that, I mean, it has got a missing screw, so somebody's lost a screw in the past, and yeah, it's all gone a bit. Not good for whoever, because the screw is quite an unusually short one. But it is held by 3 more, so it's not the end of the world at all, really. But it would be nice to have had it. And these are just self-tappers, so maybe I'm using the wrong screwdriver for this. That's why I'm struggling. Right, so I have greased up, well, I've cleaned up, that's so dusty, the shaft there for the spool, and you see the top of the whole effect there, and I've also put a tiny drop of silicone grease in there. So let's pop this back on. And you're not really supposed to, but I'm going to reuse the circlip. So if that'll press it on. Yeah. So I just used an adapter just to push that on. Then got a brake here. Just make sure that is correct. There we go. So there's that one. Where's the other one gone? It fell over. And then this brake. You do have to take them off, unfortunately. They just don't move anywhere near far enough. Let's give that a bit of a clean. And there we go, that's on. Then let's put this little assembly back on. It's weird, I clean it, I dust it out, and then there's more dust. It just sort of magically appearing again. It's just a bit disconcerting. I don't know whether that's going to be any good for that. Probably not. So. And somewhere I've got that washer. That went on the top of it. There it is. So, washer goes back on. Yeah, that's feeling really good. I'm intrigued to see how well all of this performs in like wind and rewind, because like the beaters, Toshiba beaters, they use a sort of similar arrangement, rubber idler, rubber tired idler motor with a shaft on it that's got friction sort of into the metal of it, and then plastic spools with a friction surface. Now I've cleaned this one just like I would in a V31, 33, 9600. I've not cleaned that one, so I'd be interested to compare the two. Okay, so next thing I want to do is just give this all a bit of a clean up. I'll probably take these off actually, just to give those a clean, and I'll give them a wash. Clean the display and the LEDs so they're nice and bright, and front cover I'll give that a jolly good clean as well, and we can put it back together then. In fact, let's just get the front loading system back in place. So it's right the way forward and then push back so it's locked. And then we've got the 2 screws. There we go. Okay, so I'll give it all a clean, and I won't bother showing that, and we'll give it a try. Let's crack on. So it's cleaned up quite nicely, and I did actually use a bit of Brasso just to take out some of the scratches. You sort of see a little bit of bloom there from that, but that's fine. It's taken out the scratches fairly well. Couldn't get that one out, but it's better. And all cleaned up on the front as well. Clean the display, clean the flap. Probably that will need another clean up, but yeah, it's done for now. So yeah, let's put the front back on. I think we're about ready to give it a try. Okay, so just make sure that switch is right. Yeah, this could still do with a bit more of a clean up. It's not bad, but I'm just noticing in the light bits of mist right around there. Okay, find a cassette and we'll give it a try. There's a bit of a mark there. But anyway, that's fine. Let's crack on. Nearly forgot everybody's favourite segment, the plug check. It will need a new one because it hasn't got the shrouded pins, live and neutral, 13 amp fuse. There we go. That's very much of a time, isn't it? So yeah, I'm just going to chop this off and start again, to be fair. So yeah, let's crack on. Just suddenly remembered I forgot the pinch roller, and it really does, if I can find one, it really does need doing. Otherwise I might have to just rubber renew this one for now. But I didn't show any of it being taken out. So yeah, getting the cap off is quite difficult. You don't really want to be pulling from the top. So with it out, you can use a flat blade screwdriver just to carefully get the blade as close as you can to the shaft, and just turn it, and it will push the pinch roller and the plastic cap off without hopefully damaging the cap. Also, these circlips, I'd forgotten, because they're thicker, if you can get a blade of a screwdriver in the split washer, split in the washer rather, and then just flick it up with another screwdriver blade or whatever, they'll come off really cleanly and you won't distort them. So not always easy to do. So like on this one, put the blade of a screwdriver in there, and then you can just lift it off basically. Just give it maybe a little turn as well to help it if it's fairly deep. So you can see it's coming away there, so that would come off quite easily, but you're not distorting it, so you can reuse it, which can be useful if you haven't got a stash. I mean, I have got a stash of aftermarket ones, but yeah. Okay, so that's it. Just got to see if I've got one. I thought that was it, but no, it's not. So I'll have a look through my stash and hopefully I'll find one. If not, might have to do something with this one. Well, I think I found the right one. See if it actually fits on the shaft properly. Yeah, it does. So that's good. Dimensions wise, might be a little bit smaller, which I don't really want. So 1723, 1684. Yeah, so it's half a mil thereabouts different. Yeah. We'll see. Right, I take it all back. This is actually swollen. If I measure from the very outside, I'm actually getting... See if I can actually get it. Yeah, some places I'm getting like 16.8. Um, 16.9, see. So I think, especially considering this is labelled as Toshiba 16.8, I'm going to use that one, and it seems to fit absolutely fine. It's maybe not quite as tall, it's milling it, but it's certainly enough. I suppose the proof in the pudding would be how it looks with this back on. Absolutely fine. I think. No, hang on. Thought that looked a bit high. Yeah, there we go. That's properly on, and that looks good. So super. So I'll get this put back in. I should have. I'm annoyed at myself really for forgetting to do it, but it turned out that obviously you're supposed to do this with the front loading system out. I forgot to do it, and I thought I'd have a go at doing it with the front loading system in, which you can do. I did slack off the screws on it a little bit, just so I could lift it out a bit easier. There we go. So that should be in the right position. And just press these back on. Get that in to press that on. So that is on. Bit of a strange angle, so it didn't quite click. And then that one. That's it. Lovely. So now we're ready. I've given the head drum another clean as well, and I felt when I was cleaning it, so wetted with isopropyl, and then just turn the head slowly, obviously not moving up and down, just holding it still, not too much pressure. I could feel the actual drum itself felt almost gritty, so I've actually used, the heads were clean, but I've used this just moving above where the head chips rotate on the drum, and I've cleaned off all of this grime, and it now feels smooth. So before it sort of felt like there was a roughness to the drum, and now it feels smooth. So it's obviously quite a build up over years of dust and rubbish and whatever, sort of turned itself to some form of concrete type stuff. Yeah, so let's give it a try. Okay, so I think we're finally good to go. So let's plug it in. Far so good. Does it Does the remote work? No. Don't know whether that's because it is for a different machine. They have different kits. I have a feeling they did. But anyway, sacrificial cassette. Rewind. And make sure that switch is right. So rewind's good. Fast forward is good. And moment of truth, what's play like? It's actually very good. Tracking. Left and right. That's amazing. A really good picture, I have to say. Still two-head machine, remember? Yeah, so you do get a noise bar, but you can also achieve a really good still. So yeah, really impressed by that. Fantastic. So just looking at this fully clean and tested remote, it's got brand new batteries in it, and there is nothing. I should be seeing that on the camera. I should be able to see the infrared LED flashing, and it's not. So this ain't working. Yeah, great. Okay, so let's get these batteries back out and take this apart. So I think I should just be able to unclip it. It's actually quite a nice remote to take apart. And let's get these moving a bit. Yeah, that's really good and clean, isn't it? Oh, this has had a spillage in it. Oh, really? Honestly? Okay, well, I'll give it a clean, but I'm not really liking my chances on this. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's all full of rubbish. Okay, well, I'll give it a clean, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, well, yeah, I've done my best with it. It's pretty clean. And I don't know what it was that was spilled in it, but it was bad. So I think that goes... how does that go? I think it slots in, actually. It's still a bit grubby. Yes, I think that just slots in, actually. Yeah. And then put this back together. Oh, just have to put the buttons in. Oh, it's too willing to go back in. Who needs buttons? Huh. Okay. Yeah, still a little bit of something in there, but the actual buttons themselves look fine. Yeah, just a tiny little bit of contamination there, but it shouldn't make any difference. Okay, I'll put the back on. See if we actually do get anything now. Oh, yes, it's I just paused the video recorder. Okay, I probably will just take this off and just get out those last bits of mess that I noticed, but yeah, that's actually working, so cool. Okay, so I'm just doing picture search. Stop. Play. Pause. Yeah, that's pausing. Frame advance, so that's fully working. Excellent. Oh, standby? Yeah, that works. Like I said, there is one function that you get with the VC88 that this doesn't have. I can't remember what that is. I think there's a TV VCR button there, maybe. For certain markets, doesn't really. I don't think it was ever on the UK ones. Interesting that when you turn it on, there is a little bit of a kick from the loading system motor. So let's try that again. Interesting. Yeah, take it out before it will accept it back in, but yeah, that's fine. So yeah, we actually have a really good working machine. So I'm going to run this for a little bit, and then we'll finish off the video. So this lid, I'm going to try and take this plastic off. Now, in some ways it's great it's on, in other ways it's not, because what can happen is it can cause, the adhesive can cause issues. So, seems to be coming off all right. So there we go. That is actually not bad. There's a couple of little marks as well. I've cleaned off a couple of bits, but unfortunately there is a little bit of damage there, tiniest amount, but yeah, that's really nice. It might be a pain having it on, but it's actually really good if you can take it off cleanly, which this did actually come off quite cleanly, because it's protected. It makes it look like new. It's fantastic. So I've run it for a while. It's not MrBetaByte. It's been absolutely great. I've also cleaned the rest of the tape path, which is rather good, and it was very grubby. So that's cool. And I don't think it has had an awful lot of use, to be honest. I just see a fleck of dust. Still weird bits of dust that keep sort of appearing. But yeah, sort of after I clean the drum, there's a very, very slight wear mark where the tape exits the drum. It's so slight, so it's fine. I mean, it's probably got years of use in it ahead of it. So yeah, just so well built and solid. You know, it's got a solid feel to it. Everything just seems so well made. So yeah, maybe it's a good machine to go for if you just want a short play machine that gives good results. And I'll do a capture in a bit, but yeah, I'm going to stick this back together and yeah, we'll take it from there. So there we have it, all back together, looking really good. Need to sort something out with that flap, but that's fine. You can see where I've polished it, and it's not great. I'll probably respray it, to be honest. But the rest of it does look pretty good, to be fair. There's a few marks. I still need to clean out some of the grime out of the sort of grippy bits on the buttons. But it's auto on. But it doesn't know that that's a pre-recorded cassette, so it doesn't auto-play. The VFD's come out nice as well. That's warmed up really, really, really well. So very, very pleased with that. And yeah, the quality's really good. So let's wind it on a bit.
Coming soon from Walt Disney Home Video.
There will be flex and whatever. But yeah, so really cool. And the stills. So like I say, not perfect, of course, because it's only a 2-head. But that's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. Really very, very impressed with the quality of this, and the remote works fine. It's really very, very good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Certainly something a bit different. It's sort of a bit of an important year for VHS overall, so we've got something quite special coming up, actually, ready for the 50th anniversary in September. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and subscribe and notification bell as well, so you don't miss that one if you love your VHS, which I do. I mean, I know I feature mainly Betamax because Betamax is my sort of passion, but I do love VHS as well. I love video recorders, so that's cool. So yeah, like and subscribe as well, be fantastic, and a hype. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye for now.